Alrighty, I'm Michael Christensen coming back at you with another YouTube video for UF 100. This one is about the journal reflection and what prompts we thought were hits, misses, and what we would like to rethink. So let's see. The first one I thought about for the hit was, I think it was 6.2, yeah. So this one was, the prompt was what makes us who we are. It's about nature versus nurture. And like personally, I've always been very interested in psychology, the whole like, are you raised a certain way and that makes you who you are? Or is it like an inbred thing? And there's a whole bunch of different philosophies on this. I don't know, really interesting, fascinating stuff. So the prompt was what makes us who we are, and I said that both nature and nurture combine to make us who we are. We are all our own people who tend to stray towards different areas of life, but there's also some societal conditioning that makes us like not quite individuals because we are still expected to maintain some sort of, normality in society. But within the nurture of our upbringing, we still have our own personal natures that help us figure out who we are and combine to make us individuals. So, let's see. I don't know. It was easy to write about because I have taken a few psychology classes and really been, fascinated by it. So I didn't go in too in depth with too many details, but still very, interesting and like it's easy to write about your passions. So, the element of the identity that this prompt engaged me to write about, well, I don't know. There's, like I said, there's a bunch of different philosophies about like nature versus nurture and like which one holds sway over the overall identity. But personally, I think it's like no one is truly like their own nature. There's always some element of society or like there's rules, laws that you have to follow, and there's just some behaviors that aren't accepted in society. So I like to think it's a combination of the two that make us who we really are, and finding that balance of nature versus nurture is important in deciding your own identity and who you want to be. So that was the hit. The miss. Ooh. The one that was a miss was 5.2. We had to make a table of different elements in our lives, like the given and chosen identity variables, and if they are thick or thin. And really, I'd never thought about it this way before. This is why it was like hard to write about. I never like looked at parts of my life that I identified with, and I've never thought about if they were given to me or if I had encountered them on my own. I've never like given too much thought to that. But the whole thick thin part, that one was easier to write about because there's definitely parts of my life that I don't really experience that often. So that was the easy half. But the whole like deciding what part of my life and thinking back like, oh, did I come to this naturally or did I like, was it instructed to me or like anything like that? So that was kind of rough. Let's see. Yeah. For the given, I said, my family, my name, like the family name, all of that was given to me. I have this like legacy and heritage to uphold. And those were thick with me. The thick chosen ones, I said, were I choose to be a good friend to people, like really be there for them. Chosen, again, was college and my grades, like, that's important to me, but not so much that it's part of my life for sure, and it's a big prominence, especially coming into later in life. It's going to play a big role. Then the thin givens, I said, were religion. My dad was actually he's going to school to be a minister. My mom was raised Catholic, and I am atheist somehow. So that's that. And then the thin chosen identities. I like to go on a lot of adventures, really get the outdoor experience. And, it's like important to me, and it's definitely a part of who I am, but it's not like, like it's not in me. It's like something I just like to do. So that was what I said for the miss. Again, just like a different way to think about it that really I'd never done before. So, it was rough, but let's see. Oh yeah, the rethink. Oh man, I think that was like 10.0? Yeah. So the 10.0 one had to do with like what type of identity we were at in our lives right now. So what I said like the identity diffusion one as the one I chose. So identity diffusion is an accurate representation of where I'm at with identity. I am so many different things to so many different people, and I have different persons or personalities in my life that I don't know who I am when I'm like by myself a lot. You know, like I just kind of weave in and out of different personalities depending on the group or situation and all that. And when I'm alone, I don't like know how to act almost. So that was what I said, and I'd like to rethink that. In the last couple months, I've shored up who I am. I'm happy with who I am. I'm becoming more of me, less of like a reflection of those around me. So I'd like to rethink that, and yeah, just that's not quite accurate anymore. So yeah, that was the rethink, and I think that about sums it up. I enjoyed the journal. It was a good way to like exercise, different ways of thinking about identity. And yeah, signing off. Last video for UF 100.